All right. Oh my goodness, everybody. It is Sunday. Welcome back to Clan Fett. We hope to see a lot of you here today because we have a very special guest in Mr. Spencer, the man himself, Mr. Boonta Eve. Oh my goodness. Hey, Spencer, how we doing today, bro?
I'm doing great, guys. Thank you so much for having me today. It's an honor to be on your show.
Yeah, we appreciate having you. John, how we doing this morning, bro?
We're good, man. Another Sunday. We woke up today, happy to be here. Another incredible guest, man. I feel like every time we get people on here, it's just like it's a hit after a hit, and we have someone here that's they got something to say, and we're very excited to potentially see them here in a few weeks. And yeah, man, we're getting into it today.
We are indeed. And yeah, today, guys, we have a very special guest, like we just said, Mr. Boonta Eve. We're also going to talk a little bit about Rebel ScumCon. We're going to talk about Boonta Eve, of course, this being the big after party after night one. So, I mean, we're going to have so much fun. There's going to be a lot of things here. So, in the chat, guys, hopefully we're going to see some of y'all there. I know we have some international folks in here. So, of course, if you guys can't make it there, of course, that makes absolute sense because traveling across the pond real quick would be a kind of a stretch. That sounds kind of stressful in ways, but hey, we'll always have you there with us no matter what. We will be doing some live streams. We will have an episode that Sunday when we're at Rebel ScumCon. But hey, we're that's what we're here to talk about today. But real quick, let's go ahead and hit the chat. We have Steve Jedi Jarvo in the building. Some of the usuals. A lot of regulars here, Spencer. A lot of the same people that we have come in.
Amazing.
Love to see it. Skywalking Ryan, who will also be at Rebel ScumCon. Can't wait to see him there.
Right.
Also, too, just being able to finally meet the people that we see every single Sunday or the ones throughout the chat every single week. Like that's going to be insane.
No, it's awesome that you guys have such a community growing within Clan Fett and all that, and it just it shows that the community in itself, I mean the Star Wars community, is alive and thriving. That the noise that you hear within the fandom is just noise. It's nothing that really matters really.
Right.
That Star Wars is alive. Fans love Star Wars. We also said no one hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans, but at the same time we're passionate about it. That the community is strong.
Yes. That is facts, man. That's what they say. No one hates it more than the fandoms and that or than the fandom itself, and that is true. But this is gonna be it's gonna be kind of like a breath of fresh air being around, people we love online, finally seeing them and meeting them. Like even meeting you in person, Spencer, that's gonna be crazy because shout out Jimmy from Explore the Force. He's the one that kind of connected us. So I mean, just the simple connections always make a huge difference. So yeah, man, super excited. And yeah, so excited to talk Star Wars today. This is gonna be great.
Let's do it.
But yeah, so what we got here is Spencer, like I've said. So what is Boonta Eve for those who don't know what that is?
So Boonta Eve traditionally is the night before celebration event that the VCN does put on as a kickoff for celebration. We've been doing it since 2017 for the 40th anniversary of Star Wars and the Orlando celebration, which, funny enough, was my first celebration as well. So I ran an event, my first celebration. I figured why not, but it actually came in because uh, back in 2016 when it was in celebration was in London, I was watching the live feeds on YouTube because they showed the panels, and I actually
Right.
was sitting in my cubicle watching because I didn't know about celebration at all. One of my mentors went to it as a guest of Lucasfilm because I
Mm,
work in marketing and events, for my day job.
yeah.
And I decided that no matter where I was in the United States, I was going to the next one. Turned out to be 17 in Orlando, so I joined a very small Facebook group at that time and said, "Hey, I'm going to go do karaoke the night before because at that time they were still doing overnight sleepouts before panels, sort of
Oh
like San
wow.
Diego Comic Con." Um, but I didn't know any better, so I just said, "I'm going to go for karaoke the night before. Does anybody want to go with me?" And then the admins of the group said, "Well, we want to do a meetup. Your event seems to be getting some traction. Would you mind if we ran our meetup at your event?" And I said to them, "Well, I've already done the work. So why don't you make me an admin for the group, and I'll just make it the group meetup. So, needless to say, that was the situation there. Um, and then we've just grown exponentially to the point where we've run events since Celebration 2017. So at every celebration since, including London and Japan. London's Boonta sold out in a day and a half. Japan sold out in 4 minutes, which
Yeah.
was insane. But then a couple years ago, we started doing a thing called Boonty Special Edition. Is when we go to other locations, either running by ourselves autonomously from a con, or at a con, say for example like Rebel Scum Con, and run a Boonta in conjunction with their convention. And this is our third within a convention, but our sixth special edition that we've done overall. Um, and we just try to be like, if a convention is the main event of the weekend and they want to say, but wait, there's more, we want to be that much more. We want to be the, oh my God, you know, the cons seriously kicking some serious ass. And then we're helping them draw above and beyond.
Right.
So we're honestly very honored to be part of the Rebel Scum family in that capacity. It's our second year with them, and excited for this year because last year was absolutely insane. It was absolutely insane last year at Boonta.
Hell yeah, dude. That sounds so. John, what are we gonna do at Boonta, bro? Like, what are we doing, man? It's gonna be
I
lit.
don't I don't know, man. I'm trying to so like, Spencer, this will be my first time at this is my literally my first convention. I'm just getting into that whole aspect. But I guess my big thing is like what am I walking into here? Like what do we expect?
I want to say that you to expect is shenanigans abound all the time. Uh, this particular Boonta Eve, we have 13 guests that are separate from the convention. Now, half our guests will be at the con over the weekend after Boonta, but we also have live band karaoke, which last year we had, which was a surprise. David Collins and Matthew Woods singing Youngie
Oh,
Wim from Skeleton Crew, which is
Hey.
uh, the Huttese version of Major Tom Coming Home from the 1980s. They only did that song once for the trailer of Skeleton
Right.
Crew,
Yeah.
and they released a music video afterwards. Well, we were the first time they've ever one done it live, and two since they recorded it. So that happened last year. We've had a number of celebrities jump on stage and do sing with the band, which was
Man, that's
awesome.
sick.
So we're gonna have a lot of that going on this year. We got a couple surprises on stage in store. Also, we have we're gonna have two massive sabak tables and a dedicated sabak room, which was wild last year.
take my
Um,
money.
I was about to say, call me this guy right here. I'm gonna be
yeah,
cheating. I'm gonna be stealing everyone's cards. Call me Lando.
fantastic. Uh, and then we have specialty drinks. For the event, there's gonna be food available, merchandise, swag trading. Um, it's basically like if you take like your basic bar setup and just add a convention element in a bar.
That's
That's
sick.
pretty much what we want to do. We don't want never want to be a con, um, because it's just one. Besides the obvious of just like it's a lot. But we love the go in, put our show up, box up, and leave uh, atmosphere because it adds excitement to the night, but also allows us to go enjoy. Will Saboba put you into? Maybe we will see. I'm not a gun
Anything can
guy,
happen.
so anything can happen. But you also never know who's going to show up at Ubuntu because last year a lot of the con talent showed up to hang out. So on top of our talent, the con talent showed up just to hang out and sing karaoke or play sabak or whatever. So just
Right.
coming out and come party Star Wars style. Really, it's to me we want to be the ultimate after event. It's a party. We know it's a party, but we call it an after event because it's more than just a party. But as our Scottish brethren came and said during the World Cup, hey, no Boonta, no party. So there you go.
Yeah, that's true too. So yeah, John, that's what it sounds like we're getting into, bro. I will
No,
say
I'm
the
excited.
sabak sounds very interesting because I would love to learn how to play that, but I know if if like I get my own deck and started playing, like I would have to wait to meet up with my Star Wars buddies like here and now to actually play because I know some of my friends would probably be like, "Bro, I'm not gonna learn how to play this," so that's all right. So definitely
Well, it's
gonna.
gonna be great con as well as they're gonna have a whole Sabak section run by Sabak for charity, and also one of our sponsors for Boonta, Hyperspace Props, will have a booth there teaching people how to play, also selling credits and whatnot. And then Hyperspace Props are gonna run the tables at Boonta as well.
Mm,
You
yeah,
gotta
sweet.
download and play some Star Wars Outlaws. That's how I learned, more or less.
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
Kessel
I
Sabak,
heard.
as it's called.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That got fleeced multiple times.
Fantastic.
Getting my shit stolen, man. Like what? But yeah, that sounds great. I don't know, dude. I think the music's gonna be cool. I also love, growing up, my dad was a huge break dancer. Loved, breaking one and two. So this being called Electric Boogaloo definitely hits home for me. So I absolutely love all the themes around it. So that's gonna be really cool.
one of
You
my
know,
one of my team members has been dying that if we were going to ever have a number two again to do Electric Boogaloo, is because, I mean, us Gen Xers, my age, middle aged people from the 80s, remember that movie. So when we hear
yeah,
number two, we're always saying Electric Boogaloo because it was part of the lexicon of when we were kids. So I'm glad you get the reference.
yeah.
But yeah, we're stoked about that. We always try to do some sort of theme with our buntas, whether we're around Rebel ScumCon. We already actually have our theme for next year already picked out, which I'm pretty stoked about.
Mm.
And for the other buntas, because we have one later up this year at Rhode Island Comic Con in November, called Into the Groguverse. Um,
Oh,
and then the big one for Celebration next year, which is technically Boonta 5, so we're calling it the VCN Strikes Back.
oh, that's
Nice.
sick.
That's rad.
So,
That's so sick.
if I wanted 5 to be at Celebration. Like I could have done 5 in Japan, but I opted to call it something else just to get the us coming back to the United States after 2 celebrations for that to be Strikes Back.
Mm.
So
Yeah, sounds good to
I'll be
me,
there.
man. That's gonna be
Yeah,
sick.
that's gonna be
fantastic.
awesome.
Also, real quick, shout out to our 4 new members on the channel. Since we're able to do that now, we appreciate all 4 of you that have just joined. Got to see some of the new emojis coming in there, but awesome, guys. We love seeing you guys here every Sunday and supporting us. But yeah, there is also a poll up in the chat. Are you going to Boonta Eve? It says 75% is no and 25% is yes. So let's see who's all going. I know Mr. Ron from Star Wars Jedi Chat is going to Rebel ScumCon, so it's going to be nice to meet the man himself. I'm going to need a bodyguard for the weekend, so he's going to be right there for me, protect me from all the
The
Sebulbas at
paparazzi.
Boonta Eve. Now that Cam from Limitless Nerd, I know he's going to have a
That's
crowd
yeah.
around him. He is way too famous for me.
He's a good kid.
He's a
Yeah,
great
that
dude, man.
Yeah, we love him, man. Can't wait to have him on. Can't wait to meet him too. That's another thing about Boonta, because when we posted this, he's like, "Yeah, no sleep till Boonta." I'm like, "Uh oh, here we go."
Oh yeah,
Uh,
we still that was our catchphrase for last year. Be another kid from the 80s, no
Got
sleep till
the Beastie
Brooklyn.
Boys. Yeah,
Some Beastie Boys. So we started saying no sleep till Boonta because no Boonta, no party. We started kind of like doing an amalgamation of all the catchphrases that we come up with.
love that, man. Yeah, uh, Ron is definitely locked in. Ian Woods in the building. What's going on, man? Glad to see you here.
Big dog.
When do tickets go on sale? Spencer, you got it.
For which event? Are we
I
talking about
believe
Rebel
he's
Scum Con Boonta?
I believe he's talking about Boonta, yeah, because I think he already has tickets to RSC.
Okay, so tickets are almost sold out for Rebel Scum Bunta. Right now, we have less than 100 tickets left. We've been
Oh wow.
selling them for a couple of months right now. Now, if you don't get a, we are going to have a pre-show sellout. It's going to happen. It happened last year as well. We sold out the day of Bunta last year, but we're on track to sell out before we even get to Texas. So go to virtualcantinanetwork.com and get your tickets right now. But I will tell you straight off the bat is that we will have a hyperspace standby line that we will get people in. But the people who buy tickets first are the ones who are going to get into the building first and be able to do everything. There's going to be a little bit of wait outside for those who are trying to get tickets at the door. We will
Sweet.
100% sell out before the event for pre-sale tickets. So
Perfect.
go
Yeah.
now to virtualcantinanetwork.com and get your tickets.
Stop
Cool.
procrastinating. Stop doing what I
Yep.
do. Get ahead of the game.
Yeah. John and I are the worst.
Well, Brandon's like, oh, I was telling
um,
you, like, yeah, go get my tickets. I'm like, well, yeah, but you should get your tickets like now because you might be stuck outside. So
yeah, and we don't want to do that. No, we want to be inside. I uh I did drop the Eventbrite little ticket booster right there in the chat. So if you guys are
fantastic.
interested or need them, click on that right there. We have that in there. Eventbrite.com. It's going to be that link right there. So go check that out. But yeah, man, Boonta's going to be crazy. So you said there's already 100 tickets sold already or over that?
Oh no, 100 left.
Oh, there's 100. Okay. Yeah. It's going to
We're
be a
almost sold
packed
out.
madhouse.
We were only allowed to put 500 tickets up on sale. Period. For
Wow.
pre-sale. We sold out when I did made the announcement of Boonta live with the guys from Rebel ScumCon in April. VIP sold out in 15 minutes after we went live. And we tripled the amount of VIP that we had last year. We only had 37 last year, uh, VIP. We have over 100 this year. So
Mm.
that sold out in 15 minutes. So we only have less than 100 tickets left. Period.
And then
So
you're
any of you
outside.
that,
Wow.
so otherwise you're waiting outside. We'll get you in.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you can bless the
Adelphi.
rains like on in Dagobah. So there you go.
That's so funny. Oh, cool. Okay, so Ron's getting them, so we can expect Ron to be at Boonta Eve. So that's gonna be great, man. We're gonna get a couple brews with the guy himself, man. That's gonna be great.
Get
And
some
I know. Jo-
brews. You get some blue milk. We'll have wretched blue milk. We're gonna
Oh,
have
hey,
another drink called Mustafarian Sunrise.
that's me.
We have Hyperspace Punch, which is another drink. We have a non-alcoholic drink as well. And for you Spaceballs fans, we actually have a kamikaze shot called Liquid Shorts.
oh
I will
yeah,
take
I,
two, please.
So we have
you're
5 specialty drinks that are available at the bar. Obviously, a full bar on top of that as well. Full food menu. If you do want to eat there, an incredible barbecue place called Hitchens next door to the Revel. So you can have barbecue and then come over if you wanted to eat there, or you can come and have a great meal over at the Revel. I mean, whatever floats your boat.
Is
man. I
are
Go
are there
ahead.
any collectibles or anything like that from the food or drink? You don't have to go into detail if it's, we'll see it there. But is that something where it's like I should expect to, if I'm getting a drink, there's like a cup or something like that that I should.
Not necessarily a cup, but we do have branded Boonta Eve Oga esque coasters that are
Mm,
going to
okay.
be on all the tables. We designed our coasters to look like Ogas, um,
That's sick.
but we'll have a swag table where you can uh, get some of the swag for the event, or buy some swag from previous events and whatnot.
Oh,
We're also
awesome.
gonna have a full merchandise table where you can get a shirt like this one, which is our official. That's our VCN logo
That's cool.
behind the Scum. So it's
Yeah,
kind
that's
of like
sick.
Rebel Scum 2, but it's also our VCN logo. So this is the official shirt for the event, but we also have one that's in green of this logo. We also have 2 other shirts available. One is the shirt from last year, and also we actually have a shirt from last year that says "No Sleep Till Bunta" um,
Mm.
on there. Plus, also we're gonna have 4 different kinds of hats 3 snapbacks. One's going to be event specific, 2 virtual cantina, and also we're doing bucket hats this time. So
Hey.
you can get a virtual cantina bucket hat. We have uh, post signed posters from last year. We got posters from this year that you can go into our autograph area and get signed by everybody if you wanted to makes it very easy for there. We also have some limited edition prints because we have 4 of the animated Leias in our autograph area. So it's just a
Mm.
picture of all the Leias together, and
Oh wow, okay.
they're numbered prints. So they're limited edition. We have a card back version uh, at a 50, and then we have a metal version at a 10.
Oh, that's rad.
Oh.
So we're gonna have a bunch of stuff. Also for you females out there, we do have branded scrunchies that we're testing out. Or
Oh,
if you have
sweet.
long hair like Bobby from Rebel ScumCon, you know, scrunchies. We're also gonna have a whole night. Fantastic, man. Um, we're also gonna have a bunch of raffles going on, donated from various vendors, including some lightsabers as well as
Nice.
some items from the group, the company Twink. Um, so they're gonna have tiki set. I know a
What?
collectible version of the Medal of Yavin, and some Vader lightsaber lamps. So we're gonna have some couple of raffles throughout the night as well. So yeah,
Let's go.
we're gonna have especially like merch, swag. Like I said, it's autonomous from Rebel Scum Con, but we work directly with them to put on the event. To help enhance their experience and also your experience as a fan.
Sweet, dude. Those raffles sound cool. I'm gonna have to tell John to put the IPA down and go, hey, bro, you just won your raffle, bro. Put it down.
I am not drinking an IPA. You guys are crazy, dog.
uh, John always teases me because Jimmy and I like IPAs, and John's just always like, nobody likes IPAs, bro. Like
I don't
nobody
believe
does.
anyone who drinks IPAs actually like them. They're like, Come drink this cedar wood." It's like, okay,
It's got a little
I'm all right
musk to it.
with this tangerine peel in it.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, we got to watch those raffles, man. That sounds so fun. Um,
Sounds
yeah,
like I'm gonna be
Meddler.
spending a lot of money. Is the
Yeah,
issue?
I know. Well, that's my thing is when I go to places, I want a shirt. You know me, I always want a
Yeah.
T-shirt. So definitely got to get me a Boonta shirt. That's gonna be cool, man. Because obviously Spencer's got the swag on him right now. Those shirts sweet too. So if anything is like remotely close to that, like I'm all in on it. So
Oh yeah.
um,
So the white shirt is going to have the Texas flag in it, and then the green shirt has our logo, but it's a different color within the inside of there.
okay,
But if you ever see me, I'm always wearing VCN gear, whether it be a hat or a T-shirt or something of that nature, because I'm always promoting.
yeah, that's your gig, man. You gotta
Yeah.
support.
And I always,
Um,
even when I go to cons and stuff, I actually have a phone case that has a QR on it for our link tree because I start going to shows. People say, "Oh, how can I join your group?" All right, well then go to Facebook, type this in. Blah, blah, blah. Oh no, here, scan this.
I love that. Take it.
Easy and
Take
accessible.
it or leave it.
Yeah, absolutely. So it makes it very easy for that. But no, it's great. I'm very excited. You guys are going to experience Rebel Scum Con, but also experience Boonta because Boonta's if I do say so myself, the perfect companion to what they're doing.
Sweet. That and hey, that's what we want to hear. And I know the people that are going in chat love to hear that as well. So, yeah, we love that, dude. Shout out April for joining as well. Appreciate seeing you. Thanks for joining the membership today. That's amazing. But yeah. So, how long does Boonta last? Like, what are the times for it?
8 to midnight. So it's going to be a 4-hour endeavor. Um, the autograph hall or autograph room that we're going to have will be open the entire time. So expect that the talent will be there as long as there are people in line. I could tell you that out of the 4 hours last year, the line lasted 3.5 of it. So
Dang.
Damn.
Yeah.
to get in for autographs last year. So and this year, we had an incredible lineup last year, and I think this year's talent rivals that. I always try to. I don't like to rest on my laurels. Like I try to, up the game every event that we do,
Yeah.
and you know, I have a philosophy that not every actor is right for a con, and not every actor is right for Boonta. Um, there's been actors that we were in talks with Boonta that after talking to Kentucky, I was like, something, they're more, they're better for your show than they are for mine.
Yeah.
Quite honestly. And I say it's not saying anything wrong about us. I just think that they're too good. I don't want to say, they're too good for Bunta, if you will. I would have them no matter what, and it'd be a great, say them have on our show, but they might not be right for our show. And I don't want to book just for the sake of booking, because many shows just do that and they crash and burn because they don't have a philosophy about what is right for the show. You
Right.
have to put the right people and the right talent in the seats in order to help the draw for the event. Otherwise, you're just having actors there for the sake of having actors there. And there's so many Star Wars actors there, but so many of them are on the circuit in various capacities, and whether they're at conventions or at comic book stores or whatever, that when it comes to something like a Bunta, you got to make sure that you have a good balance of people that are going to enhance the event, not just have actors there for the sake of having actors there.
True.
So with this autograph haul, because this is something that as you talk about it, I'm getting more and more excited about it. Because I didn't know there was going to be this other section, and maybe I just didn't look into it enough of it. But is that something where should we be bringing things for the autograph haul, or will there be things there that we can buy that which then can be autographed, um, or anything like that?
Both. So, for example, like if you want to, I'm sure at con you're going to bring that lovely Rook cast Funko with you for behind you for
Ms.
Vanessa
Marshall,
Marshall.
yeah,
But you know, all the talent will have 8x10s or 11x14s or Funkos if they have a Funko for their character on their table. Should they bring that? As I mentioned, at our swag table, which is right next to the general admission line into the autograph room, we're going to have this year's poster available for sale there. So if you didn't want to get one of the 8x10s, you can potentially buy the poster for $10 and
hmm
then go to each actor, and buy, their autograph and fill up the entire, picture with, autographs of everybody. Or if you're able to get one of the limited edition Leia ones and you're planning to get, one of the four Leias that we're going to have, then you can get all four of them. And that's a numbered piece. So that's,
that's
special.
awesome. Yeah.
Um, or you could bring your
Wow.
Funkos. You could bring your your own 8x10s, your own cast pieces if you're doing your Black Series. We don't discriminate. Also available at our swag table, we're going to have a limited number of top loaders available in 8x10,
Nice.
11x14, 11x17 sizes. So if you're getting an 8x10 signed, or you got one of the posters or the layer print signed, and you realize I don't have a folder, I don't have my backpack, I don't have a top loader with it, we're going to have a limited number of top loaders available for sale at the
Awesome.
con. I mean, at Boonta. So make it a little easier to carry it around. If you're sitting around the bar, you don't want to, if you don't have something, you don't want to spill, your IPA over it. Yeah.
Oh darn, I
Yeah.
spilled this IPA that someone got me.
Damn.
Now I don't
But you
gotta
just
drink
spent
it.
a couple $100 on autographs, and all of a sudden that IP just
Yeah.
destroyed your art. So
Well, and
Right.
that's perfect because I think that's one of the big things is like everyone has different opinions on what to bring or different things like that. So it's awesome that you can get to that point and it's like, no, we'll take care of you. You guys have the options there if you want it. Um,
yeah,
and yeah, like it's you everything is there for you.
we try to make it like easy for you, because yes, when we're doing our events, we advertise like hell about this. We want people to know, but people get con brain, and con brain is a real thing. People, that's when you go to a con and you're so exhausted, you just get stupid by like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And you're like, oh f, I forgot that I had an event that night. We want you to be able to be like, well, I'm going to Bunta as well. Uh, I don't have anything to get signed, but I can get something signed at their tables. Like we'll add that con element to Boonta, that if you walk into a con like Rebel Scum Con and you don't have anything to get signed, you can get something signed there. So you could just show up
Yeah,
and
that's
just
awesome.
look
Sweet.
down at that point.
Love that. Cool,
Can,
man.
can
Yeah.
I can I ask about and this is again never been like say are bags allowed? Like we've talked about
Yes.
the different. Okay, so it's like it doesn't need to be like a clear bag or anything like that for the
No,
Boonta event.
no, but the security has the right to go through your bag just to make
Oh,
sure,
absolutely. Yeah.
and then they can deny or whatever, just like an actor can deny, signing something, you know.
Okay.
So there's no difference about that. People bring backpacks all the time.
Perfect.
One person did have a wheelie with them last year. Someone had like 15 items to get signed by John Morton, who was the Bespin Boba Fett. Uh, and literally drove from California with 15 items just to come to Boonta to get signed by John last year. So
I love that.
Damn.
that happens.
Love that. Yeah, dude. That's sweet. I don't know, dude. The more, because to be completely real, I am not a huge convention guy. I
That's
mean,
fine.
also I've only been to two. I've been to Fan Expo Denver, which that was amazing. It was really fun. But realistically, I was like, I only needed like an hour there, because
Right.
outside of waiting 5 hours to meet Hayden, um, other than that, we just went around to the vendors and looked at everyone and kind of saw the other celebrities and stuff at their booths and panels. But I went to a small one in my hometown, and that was really really it. But like this one, with it being exclusively Star Wars, I'm locked in, because the
Yeah,
other ones you got
it's a
Marvel,
different
DC,
experience. Yeah.
right?
This
So
is
this
the
is right up my alley.
other than if you go to another con, like you just said, you have many other genres going to be there. You got Star Wars, you got DC, you got Marvel, you got Lord of the Rings, you got Harry Potter,
Hmm.
whatever. Other than Star Wars Celebration, this is the most pure Star Wars Lucasfilm esque show in the
Right,
country, like literally in the country, including if you're going to include fanboys, which is Star Wars adjacent. So if you look at it like that, then it's the most pure Star Wars esque show out there, other than going to Star Wars Celebration.
right,
And for those who didn't get to go to Star Wars Celebration, you should go to Texas. It's a cheaper ticket, cheaper flight, cheaper hotel, um, and and the autographs are cheaper. Because if you go to Star Wars Celebration, there is a thing called Celebration tax. It's an unknown tax that's in there that if you're going to get Hayden, and let's just say Hayden is $250
Oh,
for a signature on 8x10, he's going to be upwards of 325 at Celebration.
uh, I'm gonna be
So
broke.
going to Celebration is more expensive, but Rebel Scum Con, it's intimate. They only have about 10,000 people allowed to go to Rebel Scum Con as opposed to 150,000 people.
that's
Um,
wild.
and you still can't do everything you want to do at Rebel Scum Con, but the fact is, it feels like an intimate con.
Yeah,
And it doesn't feel overwhelming as a celebration or a fan expo would to people. And plus, it's all Star Wars, so all the vendors are catered to Star Wars. Whether it be you're a fan of Funko or Sabers like you guys, or you know vintage or Black Series or fine art or whatever that it's all Star Wars there. So if you're overwhelmed at other show because you also have all the other fandoms there, this is all Star Wars. So basically, it's all fun. You
right.
only have to concentrate on your Star Wars fandom, which is unique.
Yeah,
And
sweet, dude.
I think one thing I'm really looking forward to, and we kind of touched on it, but it's like, I think on with social media and online, you get a lot of like the both sides of people enjoying and hating Star Wars. And I think when you get to an event like this, it's like everybody's here for a good time. And it's like
Yeah,
this is the group of people of fans that I want to be around, you know?
right.
Honestly, growing up myself, I was always known as that Star Wars kid, and it wasn't really cool to talk about Star Wars when I was a child. And now it's kind of like everybody talks about it. So
Yeah,
to me, like when I went to Celebration the first time in 17, I was like, wow, I actually finally found my people. Uh, and it's about finding your tribe. It's about finding the people that you enjoy your time spending with, because first I can honestly tell you is like I'm turning 50 this year, and I can tell you as you get older, it's tougher to make friends because you become more selective of who you want to spend your time with, and if you have the same interests or if you don't have the same interests. And I found that uh, when I find out that I have someone who has the same interests as I do, let's say, for example, Star Wars, then I could talk to them about anything I want to talk to them because I feel comfortable with them about showing who I am, as opposed to small talk being somebody for a first time elsewhere. So Star
Right.
Wars fans, I talk about a lot of people talk about the VCN saved their lives. It saved my life as well because in the fact that where I finally felt like I belonged somewhere. I never felt like I belonged in a community anywhere. And I tried many different things, but never been like this in Star Wars. But also, you read about those articles like, oh, if I go to Star Wars Celebration, if I have the opportunity to give Kathy Kennedy my what for or boot her out of the building, I'm going to do that. Guess what? You get to Star Wars Celebration, those same people are standing up and clapping for her because it's
Yeah.
all noise. The
Yeah.
internet is double-edged sword at that point where it's like the noise of it is horrible, but when you get past the thin layer, it's a thin layer. It's a loud thin layer, but it's a thin layer. Once you get past that, there's nothing more supportive than the Star Wars community. And you
Right.
get a bad rep because of that, when it's all about that.
Yep. Nah, I agree with that because like that's the thing too is when you're at Rebel ScumCon, no one's gonna be like, "Oh, I hated Luke in the Last Jedi." Like that's left at home. We're all over here
Well,
having fun. You know what
there
I'm
are
saying?
people who are going to say that. There are people who are going to say that. It won't be me because I absolutely adore the Last Jedi, and I absolutely think the Last Jedi was the best sequel movie that they made. But here's the thing: when George Lucas made these movies back in '77, he made it for 12-year-olds as a response to the Vietnam War. So if we're arguing about a kid's property and we're 50 years old or in our 20s, we need to kind of get over ourselves in some capacity and realize, one, we're talking about kids' property, one, and two, every what's great about Star Wars is that every generation has a Star Wars. So everybody has their unique origin story and entry point. And no one's origin story is better than the next person's because it's all personal to them. So if you don't like Luke and Last Jedi, or if you don't like Last Jedi, if you don't like Rise of Skywalker, that's cool. But I can guarantee you that if you collect physical media, which you should, no matter where you look at your lineup of Blu-rays or DVDs or VHS tapes from my childhood, you're going to have that slot filled. It might be still wrapped in plastic, but you're going to buy it just so you have a continual, you're always going to look at that one spot and be like, man, there's something missing. I know I don't like it. You're a Star Wars fan. You're a collector overall. It's like you could find stuff about Last Jedi or Rise of Skywalker or the prequels that you really like, and you might not like the movie, but there's aspects of it. The one thing that for those people who don't like the Last Jedi, I could say, one, the cinematography is absolutely fantastic in that movie, and
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
two, there are elements of that movie of pure brilliance. Now, I might not like the whole movie. Personally, Rise of Skywalker is not my cup of tea, but can I go and watch the movie and find elements of that movie that I purely enjoy? Absolutely. And it might just be
Yeah,
the
for
fan
sure.
service of it all, you know? But the fact is that Star Wars is for everybody, and you could find something that you like in every property. And you don't have to like every property, but you'll find elements that you do like in every property.
Right. Nah, Spencer cooked on that one.
I think Jimmy says it a lot where it's like you're getting mad at science fiction. It's like you're getting mad over like, people it's this whole debate over these little things and it's like I'm just here to enjoy it, man. Like the
Yeah.
more hate and flack, it's like, okay, well we'll never see a project like that again for the next 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing about Star Wars, and I noticed this at Star Wars Celebration 2019. Is as an original trilogy kid, initially I was a prequel hater, and then I went to 19, and Ahmed Best got a standing ovation, and
Mm.
then I realized at that time, quite honestly, is it's not my Star Wars anymore. The prequel kids were parents by 2019 and bringing their kids to that. So to them, seeing Ahmed Best to them was almost like seeing Mark Hamill. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Is
Hmm.
they're seeing their leads in the forefront. And I was like, you know something, I need to get. That's when I realized I need to get over myself. And then I went back home and watched the prequels again with new eyes, and like, it's not as bad as I had thought it was. And I turned to actually appreciate and love it that much more. That honestly, I think we're another 10 years away from the sequel trilogy getting the love of the prequels right now. I
Yep.
think
Yeah.
that it goes in 20 years spans, quite honestly. So I honestly feel that people who are down on Last Jedi in 10 years are going to see some of the brilliance that is behind that movie and realize that a lot of the stuff that we have currently and building towards that never would have happened if we didn't have Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Period. The Andors of it all, getting the
Hmm.
darker Star Wars, the Rogue Ones, Mandalorian, like a lot of that stuff is from themes that happened in the sequel trilogy. And it's not retcon; they're just telling more stories now that you can, and also in your brain you kind of grow up a little bit, and realize there's some beautiful moments, and I think that Star Wars in itself is wonderful in that capacity, and we're just around to turn the corner. Uh, like Skywalker Ryan said, Star Wars will have the sequels will have their moment. It's probably not
Mm-hmm.
going to happen for another 10 years, but it's getting there. It's slowly but surely getting there. I was a big defender of Last Jedi for a very long time after that movie, and I realized after a while, it's like something. I'm exhausted, man. I was wasting way too much energy defending this movie to the point I was like, something. You do you, man. That's fine. I'm
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Argue with a wall, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. It's right
exactly.
there. Yeah.
You that's cool. You enjoy what you like. Don't
Hmm.
enjoy it if you don't like. It's fine, but don't yuck someone else's yum because that might be their jam. My favorite character in the
Bars.
last 50 years, quite honestly, is Kylo.
Yeah.
His arc was fantastic. And
Yep.
he did his character in three movies had a distinct arc of, and it was a flawed villain from the get go. And I was like, ooh, that's kind of interesting. That's a new philosophy that we have not seen yet.
Yep.
The
Yeah.
reverse of someone struggling with the light side as opposed to struggling of turning bad. Someone who's innately good, who's acting bad and being drawn to be good again. Everybody can understand that. They people want to do good, and some people don't do good because they feel like they have to for certain reasons, or society, or whatever that nature. So it was a relatable character.
Right.
So I think, and Adam Driver was just brilliant. I mean, I think out of all the characters in the sequels, I thought that Kylo had the most pure, full arc in those movies out of any character in Star Wars.
Yep. And
Yeah, I agree.
they're making more movies. Like the next trilogy is going to be 5 year or like 7 years after, and then we're already getting Starfighter next year, which is going to be 5 years after Rise of Skywalker. So we're still in that universe. It's not going anywhere. So,
Right.
um, but yeah, I love that point though. That's a really good one, Spencer. Yeah, I think it's gonna be great, man. Just like Ryan said too, this is why he's excited for RSC. Like this is really, really good. Because we can all just get together, have fun. Talk crap. Just have a good time, dude. That's what
Speaking of talking
that's what it's
crap,
supposed to be.
put it Delphi's last comment.
Oh, what he
I'm
said?
not calling him out. Uh, I will say that when he crank called him
Oh,
and
prank
said
call.
that we had finally had your mother joke in the middle of Star Wars, I laughed my ass off. I thought that was
Uh,
hilarious.
Holding.
So
Yep, still here.
yeah, I thought that was brilliant. Like to me, like a child that a child of the '80s, like the big joke back in the '90s, is like your mom. Like to me, like a
Yeah.
prank call
Your
about your
mother.
mother, like that's pretty hilarious. Like okay, that's kind of cool. Like, but like I said, it's not. I'm not gonna forgive them for somehow. I mean that when you surmise an entire movie on one line, and it's somehow Palpatine returns, I'm kind of like, man, there's better lines than that. Um, but yeah, but different strokes. It's and we ball bust and everything of that nature, but it's all in good fun because at the end of the day, we all love Star Wars, and Rebel
Yeah.
Scum Con has a little bit of everything for everybody. If you like sequels, you got Eunice and you got John Boyega.
Yeah.
if you love the Acolyte, they got Eunice, but they got Manny Jacinto and Dean Chapman. Like but they got OT, they got sequels, they got animation, they got a little
Mm-hmm.
bit of everything. And what Boonta brings to the table is we supplement that.
Yeah.
So you can get Caspi signed in Rebel ScumCon, and then oh crap, I need somebody that's a Boonta that needed on that poster. I can go to Boonta and get them.
Yeah.
So it's a good amalgamation, a good uh, partnership, and I'm very honored to be involved with Rebel ScumCon in that capacity because they're just great guys. It's a great show. Um, Last year, I said to them it was like probably one of the best conventions I've ever been to, just because it was for the fans by the fans.
Right.
It wasn't there wasn't any egos behind it, and even a small show you could feel the ego.
Yeah.
At Celebration you can get lost because it is a corporate show. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
Celebration is a corporate show. This felt like a fan show with no ego, and that's one of the reasons why I'll always wave the flag for RSC because I believe in their philosophy because their philosophy is very much in line with what the Virtual Cantina believes in.
That's sweet.
That's killer.
That's good. Yeah, dude. I mean, who doesn't? John and I will be in that long line on that Saturday, getting the picture with the guy himself.
One day, he's now only one day because
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
he got called to be in Fallout. Um, so
Ah, yeah.
that is
I
right.
have I
Yes.
have my stranger bucket ready to go. So, oh man, it's
I'm bringing
killing
it.
me. It's killing me that I didn't get one of those. So I'm gonna have to shell out coin for that when I have that thing called money. Um, but no, I mean, listen, I watched the episode Night the other day, and
Yeah.
man, when he made the Sif kebab and Swiss cheese jenki, I'm like, holy shit, man! Like you don't see that in
Yeah.
Star Wars, and I love that. But if you think about that, stuff like Last Jedi led to that. It was testing the
Right.
boundaries of what can be done. I mean, turning on and off the saber to Swiss cheese jenki is
Yeah.
against the Jedi ruling. You don't
Yep.
do
Yeah.
that to a foe.
Yeah. You don't, dude. I don't know. We could talk about the Acolyte for hours, and like I always say, it's not my favorite show, and it's not the worst show. It checked all the boxes for me. Um, but that's the thing is
It
when you
doesn't
watch
have
something
to.
new,
Yeah,
it doesn't have
yeah,
to be right. It does not have
yeah.
to be the best thing. But if you just sit back and like look at it for what it is, like I don't know, dude. Like I could really sit here and look anyone in the eye and be like, I think the Stranger could be like one of the best characters in all of Star Wars. Like, and I'm
When I
not
was
even
watching it
joking.
the other day, I was
Like I'm
watching
not
like
joking.
I would have put the passion of the Stranger up against any Sith that we've seen, including Vader and Palpatine. Like
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
seriously, just the pure unbridled carnage was insane.
Yeah.
He
And the
smacked down like
the mystery.
eight. Yeah, he smacked down like eight when he's headbutting the lightsaber with his Cortosis helmet or like blocking.
Right.
It's like, come on,
What's
man.
more badass, bro? Like what
Come
is more
on,
badass
man.
than that?
Seriously, and to me, I appreciate that because like I've always said that I wanted an adult Star Wars, and we got that out of Andor. I thought Andor was brilliant. Season one,
Yes.
I put. I know that long form storytelling for a lot of people is not their cup of tea, but my background in and actually in theatrical arts and the storytelling in season one to me was like chef's kiss. And that
Yes.
season two it sped up, but you couldn't have had season two without the backstory of season one. And it was
Hmm.
just like it was that show is gorgeous, and I think Acolyte's the same sort of capacity. Is that you just gotta look at it, is it your cup of tea? No, but there's some pure brilliance in there. Just like man, but
Yeah.
the Stranger in itself was the biggest standout of that show. They had a couple of throwaway items in there that I'm like, man, I wish we had more time for,
Yeah.
like Plagueis
Hmm.
or is that Yoda? In the last scene, there's so much going on there. I
Yeah,
would
bro.
love more Venestra and Chimere story.
Yeah, yeah,
So
that's what I really love about it too cuz if that's I never buy the argument like, yeah, it all sucked except for the lightsaber scenes, because it's like if you sit back and look, we have Yoda, which is a legacy character that would have had more time, and we got to see him a little bit younger, 130 years younger. And then, obviously the choreography was great. The lightsaber battles are amazing. But then again, we have a character that has never been shown on screen before until the Acolyte, and it's so clear that they're setting up that as the next season. If they were to continue it, it would be Osha and Chimere, and then
Hmm.
Plagueis. And I always like to think that um, Chimere is not has nothing to do with Plagueis. I don't think he does at
Right.
all. I think more so Plagueis finally found him hearing about there being a red lightsaber user and being like, I need to stop that guy because he's gonna expose what I'm doing. Like, even though we don't even like know each other potentially, or I mean they could have known each other, but that's what I like to think. So you got to like
Well,
look past all those things and take it for what it is.
pardon my French, but oh fuck, the bleeding of the crystal. We finally got to see that in live action.
That was so
Holy
cool.
shit! I was like,
Yeah.
we only heard about that. It's sort of like
The
when we
lightsabers are
had,
mood rings now. It's like they all are, bro.
but the thing
No one
is
said
like
a bit.
we always heard the story about how did Anakin become Vader? Oh, he fell in a lava pit, whatever, and then we saw the Battle of Mustafar. You know, we finally get to see lore in live action, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. It was so good, man. I don't know. I just when I'm not gonna be creepy like the Yin Yang Twins in the music video, but I'm gonna tell Manny, dude. I'm gonna be like, hey, bro, I loved what you did, and I hope we see you again. That's literally all I want to say, other than how are you doing and goodbye. I just want to
I'm a
let
But
him
wit.
know,
also,
like,
but also, I mean, Leslie Henham came in and said, the Chimera was supposed to be a precursor for the Knights of Ren.
Yeah.
So,
yes,
to me, as a Kylo fan, and having read like the
sign me
comic
up.
books, the comic books about the Knights of Ren, the Rise of Kylo Ren comic book series, which is brilliant. Uh, to me, I was like, okay, that's really cool. That's something different. It's outside the Sith, realm, but all dark
Right,
side users. Um, but like we can get wax poetic about every little detail that we look, because we're all fans. But it all comes back to really is why we do stuff like Boonta, why we do stuff like Rebel ScumCon, why we go to meet these people is because we identify and really want to be part of the community. And what's great about these conventions or having, like, for example, a podcast like you guys are having, when you have like an actor on there or someone who's involved with the crew, you feel like you're part of Star Wars and not just
right.
part of fandom, but you're like the game, the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. You're 1 degree or 2 degrees away from being in the Star War. That to
Yeah,
me, we could have imagined that back in the 80s, in the early 90s. Now it's more commonplace, and it's still giddy that we can actually talk with these people. We can go hang out with them. We go to the lobby bar during Rebel ScumCon, and you might see X, Y, and Z having beers at the bar, and you're doing having beers with them, or going to Boonta and getting a blue milk with with a talent.
yeah,
Who would have thought that? And we love that one-on-one intimate you know uh, interaction, because a lot of us were weaned on Star Wars, and I implore anybody, if you have a way to get to Texas in a month from now, get to Texas. It's going to be an absolutely incredible event. And year two was absolutely insane for Rebel ScumCon. Insane. I wasn't at year one. I did know about the show and we were in talks to come in, but it just didn't work out time wise for us.
yeah,
But when I went to year two, from what I've gathered, is it was night and day as far as the show is concerned. And I have no doubt in my mind that Kentucky and the guys are tripling down on what
yeah.
happened in year two to what's going to happen this year. And even Boonta is going to be that way as well. I mean, I'm stoked about Boonta. I'm stoked about all of our events, but this event is the one that's coming up right now. It's going to be a good show.
Can't wait to be a part of it, man. So kind of just get on the tail end. What were some of the things that we're kind of talking about like backstage? What are some of the things that you can like let us know about RSC and like what's to come?
Uh, there's going to be some incredible panels that you will not see anywhere else. the way Kentucky books, and he's made this public, so I don't have a problem talking about it.
Yeah.
Is he thinks about what is going to be a good panel and what is going to be a good photo op, and then he builds around that.
Ah.
So, there's never been a fanboys reunion of sorts. So let's look at that. I'm a huge
Yeah.
fanboys fan myself. Um, I love the fact that you're going to see panels about ILMers, very intimate panels about that. I love the fact that you can get a sequel panel show. You can get an acolyte panel. You're going to get a Mandalorian Grogu panel because a lot of the cast is going to be there. You can have a stunts panel with just stuntmen throughout the Filoni verse. Um, you're also going to have a lot of actors that are not part of the con in itself and actually appearing at vendor tables. Like Tate Fletcher's coffee company, and he's Paz Vizsla. His coffee company is going to have a booth at Rebel ScumCon. So you can
Oh
go buy some of his
yeah.
coffee and also get autographs done by them. If you got long hair, Maria Sandoval, who was the hair designer for all of the Filoniverse, is going to be
Oh,
doing cosplay hair for whoever wants to get done for the weekend. And then you
Do
can get
me
that's
up,
sick.
baby.
yeah, and then you can get autographs from her on cast pieces and your Fennec Shand or her Clone Wars Anakin that she helped Hayden with or
Yeah.
Sabine's hair. Um,
Damn.
so you got and then you have other actors going to be around there as well. Plus also, as I mentioned, 7 out of the 13 guests from Boonta, we have our own VCM pavilion. If you can't get to Boonta, we're going to have a number of the actors from Boonta signing over the weekend as well.
That's
You know,
awesome.
I
Sweet.
but we have Boonta exclusive guests as well. So if you need somebody specifically, they're only going to sign at Boonta, but there are some actors that are going to sign later on at the VCM Pavilion. We have the four
That's
Leias, which
sick.
includes Catherine Tabor. So if you need Padme, you have Anna
I
Graves.
saw
So
that.
if you need Duchess Satine as well, uh, Missy Lee, who was Leia during Battlefront,
Mm.
and Julie
Rad.
Dolan, who was another Leia as well, is going to be there. Also, uh, two of Team Grogu, Dawn Dininger and Tamara Carlson Woodard. Tamara was Max Rebo in the Book of Boba Fett. Um,
Oh,
and
dude, that's
Dawn was
sweet.
basically every Rodian mother in the Filoniverse. And then we're bringing on Peru to Rebel ScumCon as well. So Bonnie Peace is going to be at a table at Rebel ScumCon and at Boonta. So these are some talent that, Bonnie's never on the circuit. You need a prequel thing signed.
Hmm.
You got Aunt Peru right there. Or if you
I
need
did
something from
not know she was going. That is
Please
so
oh
sign this
sweet,
yeah,
bucket
dude.
of ashes.
yep. And then also, I mean, let's talk about the Baru crew when Aunt Baru picks up that blaster in the finale of Obi-Wan Kenobi,
Obi-Wan, dude. She
and
went crazy.
she went completely ham. So you can talk to her about that. We actually had her on a watch along of that episode a couple of weeks ago on the VCN, and she talked about that scene. Um,
Dude,
but
that's
yeah,
so cool, dude.
I'm psyched Buying's gonna be there. But yeah, I would say that all of our talent is great. We got some incredible ILMers that are going to be there at Boonta, and specifically um, Lauren Vogt, who was involved with the prequels, but also outside of Star Wars. If you're a Nightmare Before Christmas fan, she was the creator and the designer of the Sally puppet that they used in that.
Oh,
But
nice.
also, if you're a Spaceballs fan, she was the creator, fabricator, and the puppeteer for the chest bursting alien at the end of the movie in the diner.
Oh wow.
Damn.
Yeah, that's
That's
crazy.
sick, man.
Which is really cool. I know for a fact she will have that "Hello, my baby"
Hello,
creature,
my honey.
yeah, doll photo on her table. Um, Kim Smith was very much involved with the prequels, but she also worked with Lauren. If you're a Last Crusade fan, on the decaying Walter Donovan creature, so she worked with her on that. Um, Kirk Thatcher, who worked in Return of the Jedi. But if you're a Trekkie and watch Star Trek 4, he was the bus punk that gave the finger to Kirk and Spock and got the Vulcan neck pinch. So if you can get that signed, and then Stuart Ziff, who was involved in all the original trilogy uh, at ILM, and also was in charge of the ghost shop for Ghostbusters '84. So when you see like the Terror Dogs or Stay Puft or Slimer, it's all because of Stewart. So
Stay
and
put.
Damn.
those are guys are going to be exclusive to Boonta, along with Frank Trigg, who was one of the pit fighter Gamorreans in the Book of Boba
Hmm.
Fett, but also Paul Darnell, who was Marek in Ahsoka.
Ah,
So
And
you
yeah,
so,
he's the guy that Fennec like saved, or the one that she took back to the Rancor pit, and there wasn't the Rancor in there. He's the, what was it, the something of the Knights of the Night Wind or something?
yeah, he's a Nightwing assassin. So he was
Yeah.
multiple characters in there. But what's great is that Agent Lacasso was the
Yeah.
voice of Marek in Shadow Lord, and then you have the live action going to be a Bunta.
Where's
So you
Maul?
could definitely do a character piece if you wanted to of the live action and the animated Marek
Yeah, that's so
as well.
sick, dude.
So there's like I said, there's opportunities and all that, and if you feel like, well, I could get Bonnie at Rebel Scum Con, I can get Cat Table Roast. Okay, yeah, you're right, you can. But think of all the shenanigans you're gonna miss and be like, man, I wish I was there now.
Yeah.
Get
Like
one of the last tickets to make sure to insure yourself in there, and then if you didn't get a ticket beforehand, we will have a standby line and we will get so people in throughout the night. So we're giving you opportunities, but be one of those first 500 to be in that room.
yes, 100%.
we
That's gonna
will
be
be one
great,
of
dude.
those first 500 in there. So make
As
sure
you
y'all
Yeah.
should
are in
be.
there.
It's it's a hell of a time. Jimmy went last year to the Texas one. And it was crazy. And then in Japan, Jimmy um, and Jack were there on for the Japan event, and they had a blast as well. So it having you guys have an event outside of Celebration that's just or Boonta Eve for Rebel ScumCon, it just helps your experience. I mean, yes, you could.
Yeah.
Could you stay at the hotel bar and maybe see people? Yeah, you could. Could you just go out and go grab dinner and just go back to the hotel room and play Sabacco? You could, or come party with us.
Yep.
Me, I would rather go party with you.
Right? Yeah, we're going. Yeah, that's gonna be a good time, dude. I'm so excited. I can't wait. It's gonna be it, and especially with Aunt Beru being there. Even though she has just a little bit of screen time, like in Revenge of the Sith, like that's what we grew up with. So like seeing a familiar face from your childhood, it's life changing. It's just like when I met Hayden, like I was just like, damn, dude, I'm 8 years old again, and this is crazy. But that's gonna be good vibes.
But that's it. That's good vibes everywhere. And the thing is, just you're coming in to enjoy Star Wars in whatever capacity that you like it. It's between Rebel Scum and Buta. We got you covered. You're gonna to be a
Hell yeah.
weekend you're never gonna forget.
Yes. Jedi Steve Jarbo also says, "Are you going to be going live anytime when you're there?" Like briefly, yeah. So John and I we'll do something from Rebel ScumCon, trying to give you guys an update. But then also we're going to record back at the Airbnb an in-person episode, and we'll probably try to do some more lives there too. So yeah, Steve, we got you covered, man. But yeah, Vanessa Marshall video from Mike and Ron, that was amazing. That was a really, really good interview. Um,
Hmm.
so,
She's a
yep,
sweetheart. If you've ever met Vanessa, she's absolutely amazing. So
yeah,
I'm stoked that she's going to be at Rebel Scum Con because she's just such an ambassador for Star Wars. And man, the way that she was off screen killed by Vader is just so
Oh,
freaking gnarly. And I don't want to
yeah,
ruin it for
dude.
people who have not watched that interview or interviews she's had about that. But when you
mhm.
hear about what actually happened off screen, it's it's like ooh, that
Yep,
I wish that was on screen. Like
M-
you
me
know,
crossing me crossing out the Rook conspiracy. Like,
yep,
yep,
that one's
it's
okay,
over.
not the armor.
yep, nope.
Sorry, sorry, Emily. Emily's not Rook Cass.
Yeah,
But it's all good stuff. But I'm just really, really excited about everything that is happening that weekend. I'm glad you guys, heard about the show from Jimmy and now like are gonna go and experience it. And I promise you, it's gonna be an experience like you're never gonna forget. And you're gonna
right.
be hungry for the next one and then there because like I said, the promoters of Rebel Scum Con really do care about the fans, and the VCN is very fortunate to have basically married with them on these
Mm-hmm.
projects that if they believe in the philosophies that the VCN believes in, and we wouldn't be in part with them if we didn't, or we wouldn't
Right.
continue the relationship with them if we didn't believe in their philosophy. So anyway, the VCN can be a part of what they're doing, or for the fact that Rebel ScumCon is going to help us out in a couple events coming up for VCN events, uh, just shows that we're in for it as long as it's good for both of us. And there's no reason to say that it isn't good for us. It's not good for
Yeah.
them. So excited about that, but excited, like I said, excited about Rebel ScumCon. It's going to be amazing. Now, I can tell you, like, my wife is a civilian. She's not really she's a Star Wars fan, but she's not like diehard, and
Yeah.
she doesn't
Civilian.
like go. She doesn't like going to big
She's a
cons.
civvy.
But the thing is that she loves the hotel cons, and she went to Rebel Scum last year, and she was like, if you guys are still going, I want to go because she
Yeah.
loved the intimacy and wasn't overwhelmed by 100,000 people.
Love
Um,
that.
so it's gonna be good. But Rebel Scum's great, but for us, really, we're on the march for Boonta 5 at Celebration next year. Um,
Yes.
I have not announced when tickets or where it's going to be yet. We're announcing that Black Friday. Uh, I don't know how long when tickets do go on sale, how long they're going to be available because, like I said, Japan sold out in 4 minutes, and we're doubling the size of Japan for LA.
Damn.
So the only thing we leaked about our location in LA is that it's going to be on the world famous Sunset Strip on Hollywood Boulevard and Sunset Boulevard, and
Oh wow.
there's ten really famous rock venues on that strip. We're one of those 10.
Let's
So
go.
Hey.
yeah, we knew we were coming back to the United States for Celebration. We knew we had to go big, and at our final dinner in Japan, we sat down and had a list of 20 locations we would consider. We narrowed it down to 5 a week later.
Damn.
Midweek, week 2, we narrowed it down to 2. By the end of week 3, we had a contract and a deposit already in hand at that location. So we've
Wow.
been booked since Celebration ended in Japan last year, basically.
Good for you
Uh,
guys.
Yeah.
we
Big.
feel
Big.
we feel that if we're coming back to the United States after 2 celebrations outside the United States, we need to come back bigger and stronger than ever. And I always say is that people say to me, it's like, "What's your favorite Boonta?" The next one. It's always the next one because the thing is, I'm always trying. I don't, I don't sit back on my laurels and rest and say we got a cookie cutter event. We're
Right.
never going to be cookie cutter. We're always going to try to up what we're doing. So I'm already thinking, what's the celebration after that going to look like? When they announce that location, are we going to have an idea of where we're going to look at? Because my team already knows that as soon as they make the announcement next year on the final day, we're going to plan a weekend trip to whatever city that is going to be to go look at a location for that. So
Right.
yeah, let's talk about the one that's coming up. Rebel ScumCon coming up 1 month from today, this weekend. Boonta Eve would have passed, but Boonta Eve Texas 2, the Electric Boogaloo, will be on the Friday, August the 7th at Rebel ScumCon. Less than 100 tickets are left for Boonta Eve. There are some tickets left for Rebel ScumCon, but they will sell out guaranteed by the time the show arrives. So get your tickets. We want to see all of you in Texas, and I'm looking forward to having a few drinks with you guys, either
Yeah.
before or after Bunta, because I don't drink during Bunta.
You got to lock in.
Purposely, I had to lock in. Like literally, as we were closing down, I went to the bar and got a beer. Like literally, that's really was in Japan. Halfway through the event, I'm like, I need a shot, like now. Like I had, and I never drink it, but halfway through, I'm like, something, we couldn't walk in the location. things were happening, and I'm like, things are gonna happen one way or the other. I'm just gonna have a drink and enjoy the ride for right now. So
Yeah.
it really depends upon it. But the fact is, I'm looking forward to staying out with you guys. Enjoy Rebel ScumCon, enjoy Boonta, because there is nothing out there like it today on the con circuit.
When you need a drink, I just need you to look over at me and give me a head nod, and I'm gonna walk my mosey my way over to Brandon. We'll grab you something and come back. You keep doing your
Sounds
thing.
great. I'll enjoy a nice IPA. It'll be fantastic.
Oh man, we'll get you straightened out, man. It's all good. But dude,
Fantastic, guys.
this was great, man. We really appreciate you joining us because Jimmy obviously got us linked up, and I'm glad he did. We're gonna be hanging out with Elite Company this weekend when we get down to Texas, so it's gonna be a great time. This is John and I's first time going to Rebel ScumCon, going to be our first time going to Boonta. We're going to meet everybody. We're going to hang out with everyone. And also, too, if you guys are also there, John and I will be at the Saber Company booth. We will be interacting with fans, selling some sabers, getting you guys to head home with some good stuff in your hands. So, yeah, we'll be there. We'll be around, and we will pretty much be available the entire time. So we're super excited. But yeah, man, Electric Boogaloo, this is going to be great. It's going to be great.
Let's do it.
And then
Um,
by the time we leave, man, we are gonna be y'all's biggest promoters. So we are
We
we are beyond
appreciate
ready for
that, and
this.
looking forward to future events. Whether you guys end up coming up to Rhode Island Comic Con, or when we see you for the 50th, next year in LA. It's gonna be
yep.
it's gonna be good. It's gonna
It'd
be
be
good.
good, man.
Um, it's been very hard for me to sit on the info I know about our LA event, and I can't wait till Black Friday. I mean, some people know, and their eyes went wide when finally told them.
Yeah.
But when you guys find out, it's gonna be huge. It's gonna be
I
huge.
I just need
We
that
will sell out.
Boonta date,
We'll
man.
Yeah, but honestly, I'll flat out say this: the venue is so big and known that by pure virtue of the name of the venue, we're gonna sell out.
That's killer.
The building's gonna cause us to sell out. We're gonna sell it anyway. We will sell out before we announce one. Every celebration, we sell out before we announce one name, and that's just because of the name of the Boonta Eve and Virtual Cantina Network. We will sell out by virtue of the name of the building, and that's something different.
All right. Sweet.
Yeah, hyped,
Love to hear it.
hyped.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but guys, thank you so much for having me on today. Greatly do appreciate it, and
Hmm.
let's do this again. Let's roll it back before celebration.
Hey, let's get it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we have Spencer's Instagram link down below, guys. He's going to be the first one there. So all you got to do is just click the description, roll down a little bit, click that. It'll take you straight to his profile. Go ahead
Oh,
and give him that
Delphi, I see
follow.
your message right now. Tickets for Boonta, Rhode Island are available right now on virtualcantinanetwork.com as well. So I know you just guys just bought your Texas tickets. You can buy your Rhode Island tickets on our website as well right now.
Boom. Absolutely. There we go. But yeah, shout out to everyone. John, you got anything to say before we get out of here?
No, the usual, man. Appreciate every single person. We much love from us to everybody who comes in, spends time with us. It's to spend time with us on your weekend. It means a lot, man. And then no, we woke up today, so happy to be alive. Much love, and then we're here, brother. So I'm counting down the days. It's the SpongeBob meme of me going through the different picture frames of like in the car, at work, at home, and I'm just waiting.
Oh, what's gonna be crazy is that the Rebel Scum guys and the VCN crew are all going to San Diego next week.
Oh,
So we
nice.
got San Diego Comic Con right before Rebel Scum Con, so we're all like freaking out about that as well. So I completely get you. It's like all these things. When am I gonna get there? How am I gonna get there? What are the events in between? It's just awesome.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, Ryan, we will see you there, buddy. We'll be front and center with you. I'm actually taking Ryan's blaster down for him. That way he doesn't, get stopped by TSA for having a DL44. So yeah, good times. So we will see Ryan down there, and hopefully to see the rest of you guys in the chat as well. If you're gonna make it, like I said, I know some of our international guys won't be there, but that's perfectly fine. We'll have you up to speed, and it's like you'll be right there with us. So. But yeah, once again, Spencer, we appreciate you joining us today, man. It's going to be great to see you in just a couple weeks. It's right around the corner. So we're hype, man. We're super hype. And thank you again.
It's my honor. it's my honor to be part of this community. And if you have any questions or if you want to be part, do something, with the VCN, just reach out. We are very collaborative, and we believe that this community is as large and as supportive as it wants to be. And there's room for all of us, and we all should be working together to make a better community. And we are. So
Yep.
all I can say at the end of that is Virtual Cantina Network, Boonta Eve, believe the hype. It's real.
Be there.
Boom. Well, on that note, guys, we will see y'all next Sunday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. So be sure to follow, be sure to like, be sure to subscribe, all the good things to support us. So we will see all of you guys next week. We're out.